Hello everybody. It's Friday evening. Decided to get an early start on this week's video. Got a lot of things kind of lined up that I want to do for you over the next coming weeks. But it came to a head in my decision of what I was going to do next. Although there was a couple of things I wanted to get in there. But decided I was finally going to do the review of the Merkur 38C long handle. Now there's a Merkur 38 HD, which is a shorter handle. A little bit different design. This is a barber pole design. And I'm not going to make any claims about where this falls in the line of heaviness. Got a correction to make on the Parker 82R. I said the Parker 82R was 3.4 ounces. And I actually weighed it on my scales instead of looking at what it said on where it was sold. They said it was 3.4 ounces. Well, on my scales it weighs 3.15 ounces compared to a full 4 ounces for the Merkur 38C. Now if you look at it, the Parker is just a little bit longer, about a quarter, not quite a quarter of an inch. You compare it to the Parker 65R, and the Parker 65R is a full quarter of an inch longer. Now, there's a lot of places that say that this measures 3.75 inches. The handle measures 3.75 inches. When you take the head into account, it's a full, even 4 inches. Pretty long handle. I like a long handle. Some people, they like to put their little finger on the bottom and hold it up higher. Well, I like to hold it down here. This is a two-piece razor. The bottom cap is securely fastened to the handle. You can't remove it. You can't exchange it with other handles. This handle is the handle that you got. Okay. Now, when I first started using this razor a while back, I might have to get me a drink of water. I had some problems finding a blade that worked good. It just wasn't right. Now, my impressions going into it was that it's going to be real similar to the Edwin Yeager DE89 as far as the head goes. Let me get this back on here and look at it. And in actuality, yeah, it's similar. But, of course, it's got a different design. But the overall configuration should be pretty close as far as how it holds the blade and how it bends it and all those things. Let's see. I don't know. Something. There's nothing really that's really similar to it. Well, yeah, there is. This is the Matador. The Matador is similar as far as the head design, and the Matador long handle, pretty close. And I didn't measure this, but I would say the weight's pretty close too, as far as the weight configuration. Now, As far as aggressiveness goes, it is a little bit more aggressive than the DE89. But I don't think it's quite as aggressive as the Matador. When you look at the head configuration, the way it's shaped and the height of it, it's similar to a Gillette Slim. Okay. And it's not as tall as the regular Gillette razors, the super speeds. So I went into it, and I've got a coarse beard. Let my beard grow out, and you've seen my previous videos. When I had the mustache, my beard's pretty gray. And when you've got graying beard, the whiskers toughen. They get more wiry. They get just tougher. And as you age, it will become more and more difficult to do the same setup that you did whenever you were 5 years younger, 10 years younger, maybe even a couple of years younger, because I'm finding that true to myself, is that what was holding true for me 2-3 years ago isn't particularly the case now. So, using the DE89, I found that feather blades were the best. So I finally pulled out a feather blade and tried it in the Merkur 38C. It did a lot better. And I started thinking, wow, okay. Back, 3-4 years ago, feather blades were the rage, as was the DE89. Everybody loved the DE89. That was their razor of choice. That was just fantastic. It was wonderful. DE89 feather blade. Okay. Well, and also a little side note to that, 3 shaves and throw them away. What I found with the DE89 was it ate up blades. I could get a 4, 5, 6 shaves off of a blade, and I could maybe only get 2 with the DE89. Now, I'm not finding that so true with the Merkur 38C, but the shave configurations for me, because it's a little bit of a milder razor, is that I need a more pure, sharp blade. Feathers, I've always found the feathers to be a tad rough, and I would get irritation with them. And I thought that I had a low supply of Kai blades. I had 1 left. I thought, do I want to save it? Well, I pulled it out and I shaved with the 38C. And that's what I'm going to shave with today to show you. This is also kind of a review of Kai blades. Kai blades, just plain, simple. Come in those packages, 5 packs. Japanese-made blades, just like the feathers. But I've always found the Kai blades to be just as sharp, if not sharper, but much smoother. And that's exactly what I found out for me with the 38C. I read a lot of different comments and reviews, and a lot of people, they use the derby blade. And in my book, the derby blade is one of the bottom barrel blades as far as functionality with me. Fit and finish. Very nice, well constructed, heavy. On the con side, I wish the knurling was a little bit deeper, maybe. It doesn't get slick in my hand, but I could see how, for some people, it could. There was one issue that someone pointed out to me. They had just gotten a 38C, and they said, and they showed me a picture. Ooh, almost lost that blade. They showed me a picture, and I don't know if you can pick it up, but there are little indentation marks on the head. I don't know if you can see it. Well, it's actually where the top sits when there's no blade in it and you press it down. If I can get this blade almost out of my sink without cutting myself, okay. But that's not a flaw in the manufacturing. It's just the way it's going to be. You put metal against metal, you tighten it down, there's going to be a little bitty mark on it. Okay, let's get going with the shave. I haven't taken a shower yet this evening, so I'm going to show you how I use my Noxzema pre-shave. Just get a little bit, just rub it in. I'm not going to take the time to do it, but what I would do is wet a washcloth, scrub my face, use this to wash my face, and then I would apply a little bit more. What I can tell you about Noxzema is that it's very, very slick. It creates a cushion. It's got some menthol, and it will make just about any soap slicker. I'm using Mitchell Wool's Fact tonight. I've had it sitting, getting ready, soaking in hot water. One thing that I found with the 38C, I like lathers that are thick and rich. And what I found with the 38C is that you got to rinse it off frequently. For some reason, for me, with the consistency of the lather that I like, it clogs up. Well, it's not so much clogs up, is that I can no longer feel the blade, so therefore I push harder, and that tends to give me a little irritation. Yeah. I am going to go across the grain first. These Kai blades just cut through the whiskers like a hot knife through butter. They're very, very sharp, very, very keen. And exceptionally smooth. You know, how I said no, shaving my mustache area has been a problem. I've been messing around with Persona blades for quite a while. And using other blades, basically because I thought I didn't have any Kai blades. But then I started digging deep down underneath my sink, and I found a box. I go, what is this box? It's full of Kai blades. I'd forgotten I had them. And I'd also ordered some in the meantime. So I got pretty good supply of Kai blades. But the 38C, it's hefty. That 4 ounces. Allows you to just let that razor head do the work and to not press down. And see, I grabbed the handle up here. Some people have made comments that you know they can go up here to the close work and grab that little knob there, but I find it very handy. To just grab it there in the middle. I've heard some comments saying, okay, is this a good razor for beginners? I don't see why not. The 2-piece design, I think, is the best design. As far as ease of blade manipulation without TTO. Without twist to open. Okay, get a little bit more on my chin. It's very easy to handle and to manipulate. The balance is good. I could easily do more passes if I wanted to without irritation. Particularly with this Kai blade. What I found with other blades that weren't as sharp in this razor is that because it wasn't efficiently cutting through my wiry whiskers, I was pressing too hard and I would get irritation. And that tends to be what happens whenever you've got a blade that's not sharp enough. If the blade is not sharp enough, you will press harder. And if your razor is, I don't know what just happened. not only my camera just turned off. Maybe I'm at 20 minutes. Usually it just stops. Wrap it up. I'll leave it for the video I do on this blade. I am nearing the end of the life of this blade, this Persona, which is the older late 1960s Persona stainless, made in the USA. So far 15 shaves on this. I think it's pretty much at the end of its life. As a preview, some of the other things I'm coming up is do a review on this baby, the Gillette Black Beauty adjustable. Do a review on that. Going to do a review on this. This is the comparison of the Persona 1960s version. This is a 1960s, 1970s version of the Gillette stainless. And like I said, there's some interesting history about what was going on with Gillette, the Persona, and razor blades in the 1960s that I think you'll find interesting. So, anything else? For those of you that are just getting started, okay, a word about, I highly recommend the Kai blades. Feather blades are up there, top notch. Kai blades are a little bit more expensive, but I think they're worth the value of what they give you. But you need to get your muscle memory honed in first to where you're consistently being able to repeat your shaves. Now, your shaves may not be the best yet because you haven't dialed in your equipment, dialed in what fits for you the best. But if you're getting pretty good shaves, if you're pretty consistent in what you can do, how you can handle that razor, take the plunge. Try a feather blade, try a Kai blade. Like I say, some people do what they call corking a feather blade, which is to just basically take a piece of cork and just gently rub the edge through the cork to kind of take off the little keen edge that comes on a newly fresh blade. That's why a lot of people say that the very, very sharp blades, your second shave is better than your first shave because some of that keenness on the edge has been removed. Some people do that regularly. I find feather blades to be a little bit rougher on the first shave. Kai blades, I don't find that. And that's why I recommend Kai blades over feather blades. But take that step up and try those keener, sharper blades. Granted, you need to have a balance between the smoothness of a blade and the sharpness of a blade, and that's why Kai blades, to me, are some of the best because they are very, very smooth and super sharp, so therefore they're the best combination of the two. And some people just can do fine, just depending on their beard type. I'm sure that when I was much younger, I could get probably just as good a shave from a not so sharp blade. But now that I've gotten older, my beard is tougher, then it's going to take that little extra sharpness and keenness. But also to the preparation that you do. Preparing, letting that lather and that soap soak in and engulf your whiskers, plump them up so that they can be keenly cut off, so that they're not laying down, and so that the razor can actually cut them straight across instead of obliquely slicing them. That will give you a closer, more comfortable shave too. So, I've rambled on. Merkur 38C, great razor, recommend it. If you're a beginner, be a good razor for you. If you're an experienced shaver, be a good razor for you. Just the only caution is be prepared for the weight. Be prepared for the length. Tie blades, yeah. Everybody needs to try one at least once. Twice. 5 times. They're good blades. They're fantastic blades. Have some good shaves. Try to be happy, but definitely be safe. Those folks of you that are on the East Coast getting that blizzard, stay warm. Be safe. Stay in your house. Stay by the fireplace. Because maybe you're going to get that blizzard and your power's going to go out. I want some snow before the winter ends. We've hardly had any snow here at all. I like snow. We just don't get it. Never did get it as a kid. I remember used to watch the St. Louis station that was covered southern Illinois. We lived south of St. Louis in southern Illinois, about 30, 35 miles, 40 miles. And the kids would be out of school, and we'd have school. Not a speck of snow, and they would have snow just all over the place because the storms would come up, hit St. Louis, go north, and cut across northern Illinois, and then head to Chicago, the Windy City. And us down south, we just occasionally get one of those storms that would veer off. And that's kind of the way it is in Oklahoma City. Storms come down to the Rockies, they come down, they hit the warm air of Oklahoma City, and they kind of bounce north. Occasionally, then they bounce south and come straight to us. And if they come down south enough, then they come up from the southwest, and we get some snow. But normally we don't get it. But for those of you that don't like it, I feel sorry for you if you're on the East Coast. So, be safe. Bye-bye.